Today our topic is the most inspirational Stoic stories from history. Stoicism is a philosophy that teaches us how to stay strong, calm, and focused, even when life gets tough. It is about controlling what we can and letting go of what we cannot. Throughout history, many people have shown incredible strength and wisdom by following Stoic principles. Their stories inspire us to face our own challenges with courage and dignity. Let me share some of these stories with you, so we can learn from their examples. One of the most famous Stoic philosophers was Epictetus. He was born as a slave in ancient Rome, which means his life started with great hardship. Despite this, he did not let his situation define him. Epictetus believed that while we cannot control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. He taught that true freedom comes from within, not from external circumstances. Even as a slave, he focused on his mind and character, knowing these were the things no one could take away. Later, he gained his freedom and became a respected teacher. His life shows us that no matter how difficult our situation, we have the power to choose our attitude and actions. Another inspiring Stoic figure is Marcus Aurelius, who was a Roman emperor. Unlike most emperors, Marcus did not let power corrupt him. He believed in serving others and living a life of virtue. Every day he wrote in his journal, which later became the book Meditations. In it, he reminded himself to stay humble, to do what is right, and to accept whatever life brings. Even though he was one of the most powerful men in the world, he faced many challenges, including wars, diseases, and betrayals. Instead of giving in to anger or despair, he used Stoic principles to stay calm and focused. His writings continue to inspire people today, showing us that even in positions of power, we must remain grounded and true to our values. Then there is the story of Cato the Younger, a Roman senator who was known for his integrity and courage. Cato believed deeply in justice and fairness. When Julius Caesar wanted to take over Rome and become a dictator, Cato stood against him. He knew that Caesar's actions would harm the republic and its people. Even though he was outnumbered and outmatched, Cato refused to give up. He fought for what he believed was right, even when it cost him his life. His story teaches us the importance of standing up for our principles, no matter how difficult the situation. Another powerful example is the story of Seneca, a Stoic philosopher and advisor to the Roman Emperor Nero. Seneca was a wise man who wrote many letters and essays about how to live a good life. He taught that wealth and power are not the keys to happiness. Instead, he believed that true happiness comes from within, from living a life of virtue and self-control. Despite his close relationship with Nero, who was known for his cruelty, Seneca tried to guide him toward better decisions. When Nero ordered Seneca to commit suicide, Seneca faced his death with calmness and dignity. His courage in the face of death reminds us that even in our darkest moments, we can choose to act with grace and strength. The story of Zeno of Citium, the founder of Stoicism, is also worth mentioning. Zeno was a merchant who lost everything in a shipwreck. Instead of giving up, he turned to philosophy. He began studying and teaching, eventually creating the Stoic school of thought. Zeno's story shows us that even when we lose everything, we can still find meaning and purpose. His teachings remind us that our true wealth is not in material possessions, but in our character and how we live our lives. Another inspiring figure is Cleanthes, who was Zeno's student and later the leader of the Stoic school. Cleanthes was known for his hard work and determination. He worked as a water carrier during the day to support himself and studied philosophy at night. Despite his humble life, he became one of the most respected Stoic philosophers. His story teaches us that success is not about where we start, but about our effort and dedication. The Stoic stories from history are not just about great philosophers and leaders. They are also about ordinary people who faced extraordinary challenges. For example, during the Roman Empire, many gladiators were slaves forced to fight for their lives. While they had no control over their situation, Some chose to face their fate with bravery and honor. They remind us that even in the most difficult circumstances, we can choose to act with courage and dignity. These stories from history teach us important lessons about life. First, they show us that we cannot control everything that happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Whether we are facing a difficult situation, a great loss, or even death, we have the power to choose our attitude and actions. Second, they remind us that true strength comes from within. It is not about wealth, power, or fame, but about our character and how we treat others. Finally, they inspire us to live a life of virtue, to stand up for what we believe in, and to face our challenges with courage and calmness. The Stoic philosophy is not just for ancient times. It is still relevant today. In our modern world, we face many challenges, such as stress, uncertainty, and injustice. The Stoic principles can help us navigate these challenges with strength and wisdom. By focusing on what we can control, by staying true to our values, and by accepting what we cannot change, we can live a more peaceful and meaningful life. Let us take inspiration from these Stoic stories and apply their lessons to our own lives. When we face difficulties, let us remember the courage of Epictetus, the humility of Marcus Aurelius, the integrity of Cato, the wisdom of Seneca, and the resilience of Zeno and Cleanthes. Let us strive to live with virtue, to act with kindness, and to face our challenges with calmness and strength. In doing so, we can create a better life for ourselves and for those around us. Life is full of ups and downs, but the Stoic stories from history remind us that we have the power to rise above our circumstances. They show us that no matter what happens, we can choose to live with dignity, courage, and grace. Let these stories inspire you to face your own challenges with a Stoic mindset and to live a life that is not only successful, but also meaningful and virtuous.